hello there, people of the internet. My name is Udwo Jagero, and this is Dialogues with Jagero. I am with Felgonah Oyuga. Right?
Yes.
You know,
After all this time.
Oyugi. You know, Oyugi, because I've got a friend who is called Greg Oyugi, and I've got a friend called Good Oyugi. So it's very difficult.
How? I have friends called Adero and Odera and
in the spur of the moment, you can fail to say the correct thing.
I'm taking it personally.
You.
After all this time, Jagero.
I wanted to ask you a question. How is the dating life out there for? You said you're an old woman.
I'm an older woman.
Older.
I'm an older woman.
Mature woman.
Mature.
You're telling me that you don't want to be a good woman anymore.
No. I want to be a good man. Yes. I want to be like a good man. I don't want to compete with men. But I like the idea of good man more than good woman. Yeah. Because a good man is an aggressive man. He's an assertive man. He's a man who has audacity. Is a man who does what he wants, and everybody applauds him for that. A good woman is long-suffering. She forgives and forgets. She waits for her turn. She waits to be picked. She almost has to be begged to know that she deserves something. So, good man for me. 2025.
But then, is it a good thing to be a good man?
Yes, it is. I like
assertive.
Assertive.
He does what he wants.
Exactly.
But that's not something that women really adore from men.
No, they do. That's the reason we go. Let me tell you, and this is even right from way back. The man who got the woman. And this, I think, it's across cultures, even though, different races. The man who got the woman was the strong man, was the brave man, was the warrior, was a man with character. So for him everybody wanted that, because the way we are made, we want to procreate with the strongest, so that we give our offspring the best chances in life, depending on where it is you are. And even now, so now only what has changed is that instead of strong, we are looking at maybe money, we're looking at ambition, we're looking at intelligence, that type of thing. So it's because nobody now is ideally throwing, okay, we are still throwing stones, and that's why women like our men. Yeah, but you see, that's what we want, that tough. Human, actually, it's human, it's untamed person.
Oh my God, women are so difficult. You flounder too much.
No.
Women flounder too much. One time I want a man that can cry on the sofa.
I can cry on the sofa. Which one? Who wants a man that can cry on the sofa? Get a son. Then you can be crying. Then at some point you'll stop crying on the sofa.
They always say that we want vulnerable men.
But you see, vulnerability doesn't mean that you become a muppet. It doesn't mean that you become some goo jelly that everything makes you cry or whatever. Vulnerability, even that strength, showing strength is vulnerability, because very many people want to hide who exactly they are. Yeah. But you see, society applauds men for being who they are, for their authenticity, for living in their truth. Because you'll see, example, there are men who are have anger issues or whatever. Nobody says he has anger issues. Haya anakuanga na temper. Lakini ukimwelewa anakuanga tu sawa. know. But if it is a woman with that type of temperament, then it's a different story. So we want a situation where we are all allowed just to be human. The way I came out, I don't have to perform, because it costs so much. It's draining. Because you want somebody who is soft-spoken. I'm not soft-spoken. You want somebody who doesn't talk back. I talk back. You don't want somebody, you want somebody who doesn't think this other one thinks. You don't want. It's hard. You imagine if somebody right now told you, because even that vulnerability is not for everybody. It's also not all women that cry. So I don't know why it was associated with, crying was associated with vulnerability. For me, vulnerability is truth, being yourself, living your truth. Yes.
The other day I was with a man of God, and he told me that they are starting to welcome divorced people into church.
The year is 2024. They are starting. That's for me already is my take home.
It's been a challenge for them. Do you know it has been a challenge for them?
Yes, because I'm divorced. I know it's been a challenge for them. I know, I've seen it. And this is one of the reasons some of the things I also write in my book. Divorce, and especially for women, because they might not even have a problem with the men. I've been in churches where the man left his first wife, and the first wife is having issues with church, but the man still comes to this same church with the second wife. And now, for them, that is an okay setup. Yeah, but for this divorced woman, then she has other challenges. She cannot now serve in the women's ministry because somehow she's contagious. She's going to break everybody's marriage up. They don't want her at the front because that she's divorced. She might now start getting other people's men. Now that it's really ridiculous. They don't want her children really to mix with other people because she doesn't have a male authority in the house. So her children will definitely be dysfunctional. You know, that type of thing. God hates divorce, whatever. Who knows who's leading that house?
Do you think God hates divorce?
I don't know what God wants, because this
you
God
don't know
is...
what God wants?
I don't know. This Christian God is a very strange God. He wants many things.
What's your God?
I'm God.
Do you think a Christian God is
narcissist?
Is a patriarch?
Yes.
Is a narcissist?
He's narcissist and he's toxic. Because 1 minute he's jealous, he doesn't want to, but he doesn't want me to be jealous. But I'm like a God, but I'm not a God. But it is, everything is happening. But he wants me to reason with him, but I can't reason with him. I must follow these things blindly, because if I do this, say this now, it's blasphemy. For me, it doesn't make any sense. He confuses me a lot. And if he's there, I'd like to meet him one day and ask, what's the deal?
Do you think that people have misrepresented him, perhaps?
Maybe. And that's the thing. You see, this God to us is so foreign. He's new to us. New in that, when did the missionaries come? Maybe 100 years ago. Before that, we've been there. So I don't know why we dumped the one who was there before and decided this is the one we are sitting with. We knew that other one longer, but this is the one now we want to kill each other over. You know, you'll find I have people who don't want to talk to me anymore because I decided I'm no longer interested in Christianity.
Is it true that you're no longer interested in Christianity?
I'm not. I'm interested in humanity. I'm interested in spirituality. Yeah, and I don't want to box anybody into anything.
Women are becoming very bold these days. Do you think so?
And they should be. They should be.
Do you think they are becoming really, really bold?
I hope so.
You don't think they are becoming too bold?
I don't know. Not too bold. I really hope that they are going to be bold. And even in that saying that they're becoming bold, we must again separate what we mean by bold and with what content.
Yeah, because when I grew up, women just used to be there. They never used to be heard.
Yeah, and my book is dedicated to all my female ancestors who were forced to live in silence because there were many who couldn't say their truth. Nobody asked you what you wanted. Nobody cared what you wanted.
In fact, the reason why I'm saying that women have become very bold, I'm actually referring to you.
Mm.
You know, you come out and write a very bold book. The book is called...
Okay, I'm healed now. Send me another man.
Send me another man to marry.
No, whatever. I don't have to marry.
What
is people's fixation with marriage?
Come on, don't be dramatic now.
I'm not being dramatic. You're being dramatic.
Let me ask you a question.
Yes.
Right now you are 41, 42, 44?
No, I'm turning 46 end of December.
46?
Yes.
Anyway, don't look. A 40 woman who is not in a relationship, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, going to 50. What does this type of woman want in a relationship?
But what do you mean not in a relationship? Because when people say you're not in a relationship,
not with a man, not with a man. So you must say we should send another man.
Yes, send me another.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes. So
what does this kind of woman want a man for?
Companionship.
Explain to me properly.
Companionship, and then maybe you don't want to have sex with 25 people. So I want this one man that I can have sex with. He's my companion, he's my friend, he's my mentor, he's my teacher. So there's so many things.
Your mentor.
Yes.
Your teacher.
Yes. Your friend can be your mentor. I mean, you don't know everything.
When when you say it like that,
yes.
it just in a conga bells in Guinness it's weird.
No,
because let me tell you, and I want clarification.
Mm-hmm.
You see, we are living in a world whereby a lot of women do not want men. Well, like the feminists do not want the man who is the head of the home. Mm. What are you heading? Mm-hmm. Right? So that what I'm saying. So when you talk about mentor, when you talk about leader, when you talk about those things, that's the confusion that I want you to clarify. I'm
not a feminist. Can I clarify from there? Maybe that will make your life easier. Don't box me. Don't box me into something because I don't agree with one thing doesn't mean I become something.
You're not a feminist.
I'm not a feminist. I'm not an atheist.
What is a feminist?
Whatever it is, people have been trying to box, and it means many things to different people. Again, I also cover that in this book.
Yeah.
Because we inherit a lot of things that we don't particularly understand. This is, like for me, this is my experience with feminism. So somebody else will have, somebody same generation, same age, whatever, might have a different experience. So this thing of clumping everybody and then moving and now we are trending because we're this and now we're trending because we're not that, I don't particularly subscribe to that. So my experience with feminism is this, and because I did my own research and I welcome everybody else to do their own, to make their own choices, is there were this group of women in the West. Some white women woke up in the morning and were tired of sitting at home and looking pretty and decided, we also want a piece of this pie, we want to go out and work. And then they decided to make noise. And then they realized, we're not enough. Let's include these black women. But still, the women are black first. I think it's Jonah Truth who has had a speech, I think, Ain't I a Woman Too? I think that's the name of the speech, the title, sorry, because these people want her to join this movement, but she's black first. You understand? So you're already not welcome into this. Then some of the things they want you to do, you're already doing it. They want the right to work. When has a black woman never worked? I'd really like to know why we are fighting to work. It's different to say we're fighting for different people, but we cannot be fighting to work because we've always worked, and many times for free. We are the caregivers and whatnot. In the African society, that's all we did. We worked. Yeah. So whatever it is that was being done to them was not necessarily being done to us. Yeah. So this white man wanted a woman who they were now calling feminine because she was white, porcelain white. She needed blonde hair, blue eyes, pink lips, and a pink dress, and she talked softly, and that type of thing. And she was dainty, and anything made her faint. Bad news, and she collapsed. I can't believe it. Those things are not true for us. You understand? So these women are fighting that. As we get into that bandwagon and start fighting things we don't even understand. Have we been mistreated as women? Yes, we have been mistreated as women. But our solutions can't be that solution. We must have our own solutions. And if we did a little bit more of our reading, we'll find that there's different scholars, female scholars, that have written a lot on African womanhood, African womanism, for example, because we don't fight that same fight. If you look at our history before colonial times, because you see the only thing we see history is just during colonial times and then after. And you have to appreciate that colonialism distorted our everything. So a lot of even the history we have on ourselves is distorted. You understand? So for Africans, the men and the women were not equal, yes, but there wasn't one above the other. There was a synergy. You understand? So there was a place you were strong and there was a place I was weak and became and whatever. That is why you find there are places where a woman led the army. You want to tell me there were no men to lead that army? But there was a woman who rose up and everybody followed that woman, even if she decided we were pouring water on ourselves so that we became bulletproof. We understood it and we moved on. You understand? There were women who had very many men and they slaughtered them after sleeping with them. Women did many things. So for us to decide based on something that came on the water, is a problem. So we should then have our own organic solutions, have our own organic research, because a lot of research you'll hear today, people say, oh, according to the study in, I don't know where Oxford, this is happening. And if you go to Kibera here and ask that woman, umeshawahi sikia 1, 2, 3.
Yeah,
ajui, like people are getting funding based on that thing to come and help her, and she doesn't know what she's been helped for.
Oh my God, yeah. You're saying it very badly.
No, that is precisely the thing. So my whole issue, even as speaking on divorce, speaking as a woman, is don't bundle me with everybody. Yes. I present, I'm unique, I'm authentic. I want my own solutions, and I want to be part of looking for those solutions.
I hope that you're enjoying this program. Over the last 15 years, I have been working online for clients in America, in Europe, and all over the world. And that is why it pains me a lot when I see a lot of African brothers and sisters saying that they do not have a job. Now, this is the problem. A lot of people are trying to look for a job in 2024 in their own town, in their own country, in their local area. Now, the truth is, there are no jobs in Africa, at least not so many jobs. The good news is that we have internet these days. We have a tablet, we have a computer, we have a phone, and that means that we can do a lot of jobs, and those jobs are online. That is why over the last 4 years I've been writing a book that is called Digital Goldmine. It is a book that explains to you how you can earn money online. The 18 hustles that I've chosen are basically for Africans, because what happens when you are doing online jobs is that payment is usually a problem. So these 18 side hustles that I have put together in this book, you can be paid very well and very conveniently. Okay, so the book is only 1,000 Kenya shillings. That is about $10. You can buy it in Kenya using paybill number. You can buy it online from anywhere in the world using a credit or a debit card. All the information about this book is in the description below. And if you have a brother, you have a wife, you have a husband, you have a friend who is sitting at home and watching Netflix, please do buy this book for them. If you are the one sitting at home and watching Netflix and have nothing to do, please buy this book and your life is gonna change forever. Because I have been doing this online and I've been traveling and I've been enjoying myself and having a lot of fun. So thank you very much, and now back to programming.
People should buy this book, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing. It's confusing.
Why is it confusing?
It's bold. Do not be a good woman. Strive to be a good man.
Yes.
Debunking the good girl myth.
I'm so tired of good girls. It's so tiring.
Good girl for us is the epitome of beauty.
No, good girl for you is somebody who's easy to handle. Because these days men have become lazy. They want to handle good girls who do quote unquote the right thing. If you're told stay at home, she stays at home. And anyway, okay, that's not even it. It's women not being who they are because they think that this is what is needed in a square for me to be able to get somewhere. What is that somewhere? Marriage. For us, everything is usually marriage. Right from the time we are young, we are told, be good, otherwise you won't get a husband. Wake up early, wash the dishes, otherwise your husband will think you're lazy. You must know how to cook, otherwise your husband will go and eat outside. You must know how to sleep with him in bed, otherwise he's going to find somebody else to sleep with. It was always this.
Isn't that true, though?
No, it's not. It's not. There's nothing you can do short of chaining a man to your bed or killing him and burying him. So that's the only way you'd know he's not doing what you don't want him to do.
Is that so?
Yes. Otherwise, a human being will
always
do what they want.
That's why I usually say that you're very dramatic here. And for a man to say that again.
No, there's nothing you will do to make a man not cheat on you. There's nothing. If a man wants to cheat, he just cheats. You can be the most beautiful. Ask Halle Berry. Voted how many times the most beautiful woman in the world? Ask her. That is beauty. You understand? Who has been voted the most sexy or whatever? There's nothing you will do. Martha Stewart, who is known for, keeping the home and whatnot. Her husband was always cheating on her. You understand? So there's nothing you will do short of chaining that man to your bed or killing him and burying him so that you can know he's ako huku. Hakuna kitu anafanya. Ama hako huku kwa kitanda, hakuna kitu anafanya. There's nothing you can do. So it is so unfair to make us inaitwa nini kupigia mbuzi guitar. We are just busy here strumming our guitars. Naka kambuzi kajui kudance.
There is no way of keeping a man.
There is no way. A man just wants to be in that relationship or he doesn't want. And that should be the same for women too. You want to be in that relationship or you don't want. You're adults. Yeah. So it's so unfair to put all those things on women. Be good. I remember there's a friend of mine. I think I gave an example of her in the book. She's a good woman. By all standards, she knows how to cook. If she invites you to a place to cook, she has cooked. If it is, the dining setup, she has set it up. And she has all the things that, everything is happening, She's those the nice women who will dress modestly. She's modestly dressed. The dress is long. The way they say these days, before the devil got into tailoring. She wears those clothes.
Before the devil got into tailoring, yeah?
Not these days, those were the ones when the devil started coming to work.
Yeah.
So she does all that. She's soft-spoken. She drinks maybe 1 or 2 glasses of wine. She doesn't really go out. And she's like, how come I can't get a man? And an old man said, it's because you're not yourself. We know, even us at some point, we know who is now lying. Because we know, afadhali that crazy, at some point that...
she's ratchet.
Yes.
And she's not...
She's not, yes. We won't wake up in the morning, somebody's knocking your door, and you're like, atapana si bibi yangu wako kwa bedroom, and you go and check, she's not there. That type of thing, yeah? So imagine wasting all your life, not being who you are, and then getting to a certain age, you are now mature, and you have been doing all these good things you are told to do. And the reason you are doing it is to get a man, only for a man to tell you, but we know you're not being yourself. It doesn't even make sense, yeah? So sometimes, not sometimes, always, and I think this is what we should now start teaching our children, is just be yourself. Your people will always gravitate to you. Your person is your person. It doesn't matter. The people who like you, and the people who don't know. And why should you want to entertain people who don't like you? Very many people are married to people that don't like them. There are so many marriages that are now just they're surviving on the woman being there and refusing to go. But the man checked out a long time ago. Doesn't like her, doesn't care, why would you want to live like that? Yeah. So those are some of the things that in this book we're discussing and saying, you know what, I'm going to be myself. And my person will be my person. And if they're not, they're not.
And what is being yourself, being yourself?
Being yourself is being, I'm not saying be bad-mannered. Yeah. Because there's manners and being yourself. There are very many situations where you'll find somebody will not even question. When you know something is not even right or somebody's not doing you right, you will not question because you are told. I remember we used to be told this thing that, when your man is arguing with you, and even if you know he's wrong and you're feeling so bad, take water and put in your mouth so that you don't talk back or you don't challenge his way of thinking, because if you challenge his thinking, then his ego is bruised and I don't know what. And I said, I know me, I'll choke. I must open my mouth and say.
What does advocating for yourself as a woman mean? Just that,
speaking up, saying, you know what, this doesn't make any sense to me. Allowing you to suffer consequences. If you fuck me over, you're going to suffer the consequences. I'm not going to pretend that it's nothing. We have a lot of forgive and forget. I have such a problem with forgive and forget. Because many times you knew what you were doing, but you do it knowing that at some point you'll just be like, just forgive me and forget it. Everything has a consequence. You cut trees, it doesn't rain. You can forgive the person who cut the trees, but you must plant more trees for it to whatever. So advocate for yourself. If this is wrong, it's wrong. Then you did me this way, it's not right. And if the person doesn't want to be able to sit down and work it out, then suffer the consequences. There's a law of folklore that I love so much. I don't know why I'm forgetting that the name of that man. This is called Nyam. Now we are starting to speak English again. Yes. The one who fished his first wife from the lake.
Yes,
and she was supposedly very ugly, and I don't know what. But he told her, but she told him, okay, if you take me to your house, you'll get wealthy and whatnot, but this is one thing that you must never do. You must never, say where you got me from or something like that. So he picks this woman, goes to his house, and he becomes rich, and he even marries other wives. He's very rich now and he's respected in the society. He has heard of cattle, whatnot. Then one day he comes home very drunk and he knocks at the other wives' houses. They refuse to open because he's drunk. So he goes to this first wife of his because he's like, this ugly one must open. Of course, that's I'm thinking. So he knocks and she refuses to open. And then he was like, even you, this ugly thing that I picked from the lake. And she said, okay, now that was where we were crossing the line. That's what I told you, that it reaches here, I will not accept it. She picks her things and she starts singing and going. And he doesn't even care then because he doesn't think much of what he's done to her. But for her, she's like, it's clear, these are my boundaries. She's advocating for herself. Picks her whatever basket, whatever it is, puts on her head and starts singing as she's going to the lake. And everything starts following her. The chicken, the hare, the goats, the sheep, the cattle, everything follows her to the lake and she goes down with everything and the man is back to square one. Yeah. So you see, she advocated for herself. I didn't like that at the beginning she begged him to take her, but anyway, at least she had said, this is my threshold. This is my boundary. You cross this boundary, you must suffer the consequences. She didn't give him a first, second, third chance. Because sometimes that second, third chance is what gets women killed or much worse in relationships. And you see, he didn't even care. He knew it was like, anyway, go if you're going. Because it didn't occur to him that there's a consequence. But he learned. Yeah. So it is so important for women to advocate for themselves and not save anybody from the consequences of the actions.
There has been a lot of femicide,
yes,
or attempted femicide going on in Kenya right now. I was talking to some two young women, and I don't think that I got a sufficient answer from them. I don't know if you've ever suffered violence in the hands of a man.
Physical violence, no.
No. Is it really, are men really that stronger than women physically?
Yes, they are. They are. In fact, that's one thing my mother used to tell my sister and I when we were younger. Never fight with a man. It doesn't matter what you're arguing about. And I think also for me, that's maybe to some extent, is what's kept me. When I see the escalation at some point, I'll look for a reason to leave, and then I can fight from far. But I would not fight near. My mother always said, a man is stronger than you. It doesn't matter if he looks shorter than you, or he's shorter than you, or he's thinner than you, but there's a strength, physical strength, that a man has. I don't know how true it is. I'm not going to try to. And I'm not asking anybody to go and try it out. I'm just saying that for me is what I was told. That's what I have lived by. So men are generally stronger than women. And then you'll also appreciate that by the time he's hitting you, he didn't just wake up and punch you in the face. It usually is a process. It starts from somewhere. And that's why it is important to advocate for yourself and have your boundaries known early. That this I won't take, and if it reaches here, you don't now start forgiving him. You then do what you said you were going to do. My father always said, if you make a threat only if you can carry it out. Otherwise, don't make any threats. The day you say, if you do this, I will leave, you must be very sure about that thing. Do it, and then you leave. But you see, a lot of situations you'll find is the man will start off by, maybe he will yell in my face, or he will shove you You're pushing their shoulder, and then he'll say sorry. And then you'll be like, okay, yeah, I think it wasn't so bad, whatever. But maybe you had already even told him, I don't do any type of abuse. Any abuse, I'm out. So you're also conditioning him. The next time he says, this time he just pushes, the next time he pushes you and you hit the wall, he brings you flowers. And then you say, okay, if you do it again the next time, the next time I'm going to leave, the next time he'll give you a slap, and the next time. So it is something that builds. Yeah, and especially that is if it's intimate partner violence. I'm not talking about the one who will see you on the road and is a psychopath, just picks you and cuts you into small pieces and whatever. So intimate partner violence is not something that will start day one. This person has tested you. They condition you to make you comfortable. Any form of abuse, you're conditioned. It's rarely just boom and it's at level 100. And it even starts with small insults. Somebody said something that was very interesting the other day. It starts even from the moment you just met. And he will, I think they called it negging. There was a word that called negging, where it's an abuse, but sounds like a compliment. It's a backhanded,
What is an example of that?
I'm trying to think of an example right now. Now that you put me on the spot, I don't. But I'll get one as we are going. But she gave some examples that jolted me because I was like, oh my God, I've gone through some of those where somebody will, they work on your self-esteem. You're not that pretty type of thing. You're beautiful, but not so much. You shouldn't feel so good. That type of thing where yes, you're beautiful, but don't. So it's always and they know your strengths. You are intelligent, and they'll try to bring you down. You are beautiful, they try to bring you. They will poke at you small. So those are some of the things which we should be so aware of, so that we don't reach to the point where somebody cuts you into pieces. But it's not only the woman's job, it's the whole society. We are in a situation where you don't want somebody to get divorced because divorced women are stigmatized. But when she's inside there being beaten, then she turns up dead tomorrow. Everybody's on social media. Oh, don't wait until it gets to that place. Leave the marriage, leave them. And those who have left the marriage, you're treating like shit. You understand? So you make it difficult even for somebody who wants to leave.
That's very interesting, right?
Yes.
That's very interesting.
That's what happens.
Why did you leave? And the ones
Thank
that
you.
have been left.
The ones who are outside here, you cannot give them breathing space. Oh, you are second hand, or you are damaged goods. I don't know. You can't even keep a husband. The church wants to treat you the way they feel like. And everybody actually does. Nobody understands it until you are a divorced woman. Where now you are outside here, you don't have the protection, quote unquote, of being somebody's wife. Even the neighbors, even women, not just men. Your neighbors now are treating you like shit because you have no man. So suddenly you've become a prostitute. For a while, there's a place I stayed. I had a pair of shoes that I would put outside my door so that people know that there's a man. Even if you've not seen him, pengine alikuja usiku, akatoka, but there's a man somewhere. You understand?
Yes. That's unbelievable.
It is, and it changes.
Why did you do that? What prompted you to do that?
So now what happens is, and at first, you think, like the way you're calling me dramatic, by the way, it's very narcissistic and toxic of you. but so I'm standing up for myself. And the next time you call me dramatic,
I'm going to leave this interview. Oh my God.
But because I've always been, as you're saying, in quote, dramatic.
Yes.
Even for me, at some point, I started doubting myself because I'm like, maybe I'm seeing things that are not there.
Yeah.
But you move into somewhere, there's no man, and it starts off by the caretaker asking you, atakuja baadaye. He's trying to figure out, nyumba kunaendaje juu, there are children, there's this woman, so we're trying to see this man, where does he appear from? Then suddenly, they want to pick on your children.
Oh.
Yes. So people will be picking. The neighbor thinks she can talk to her children the way she feels like. The watchman thinks he can talk to her children the way they feel like. The shopkeeper, the caretaker, because there is no man who will come out to fight. But I'm a fighter. So I have no problem with, I always tell people, I have no problem with fighting. If that's where you want us to take it, that's where we are going to go. So I had to always be on, shouting. But also that shouting makes you tired. But everybody used to know me. They used to say, "Oh no, your mama Kisrani anakuja," because But because that's what you have taken me to.
Yeah.
You understand? Because there's that notion that because they don't have their father staying there, they are going to be indisciplined. So everybody, they are easy targets because people say, tunajua alifanya nini hana baba, hana, you know, that type of rubbish. Women now suddenly think, you have these children, 4 children, you're staying here, you must be a prostitute. How are you staying here? You're a prostitute, you must want their man. How do I want your man? We are paying the same rent. The way your husband is struggling to put a roof over your head, I'm paying that same rent. So why do I want that one? I don't want that one here. I'm looking for somebody who's higher than I am. But that woman in her stupid head thinks this is what I want. Then also the men think now that this one now it must be easy. I can leave my wife downstairs and come up to your house and then come back down because you need a man. Oh,
do you actually think that there are men that want to move like that?
There are men that move like that, not
really.
Want to. Yes, ask a woman, they will tell you.
Seduce a woman upstairs.
Downstairs, upstairs, even your friend, even whatever, they do it. You understand? So it is a very crazy place to live. Then you try to go to the church. The church also has a problem with you. Everybody is trying to take advantage of you. Right now, you take your car to the mechanic because you're a woman. Suddenly, everything is needed. He tells you, "Yeah, unajua hii gari yako haina dim light. Wacha nikununulie bulb ya dim light."
By the way,
yes.
By the way, I had a mechanic say that.
Yeah, haina dim light. Wacha nikununulie bulb. Weka dim light. Ati unajua hii sijui, and he'll tell you all manner of crazy things because he's taking advantage of you because he knows there's no man you're going to call to say, "Baba nani wamesema." And everybody wants electrician, butchery, everybody is trying to take advantage of you. So you can imagine now, and then on top of that, this beggar you have also left he has a new thing to harass you. It's now financial abuse. He has left you with these children. He wants to now harass you, and he'll decide, you can agree, okay, he'll pay the fees, you pay this. Then, therefore, paying fees, he says, Sina. And what are you going to do? So now, and then one day wakes up in the morning or calls you at 3 in the morning and says, if you don't come back to this house or if you don't allow me inside that house, sitalipa fee. You understand? So you have all these things going on, but somebody outside here is on the internet saying, oh, why don't you people just leave these men? It's not a must. You'd rather be alive, but your friend who's next door, you're mistreating. Why would that person leave? Why would it be easy for her to leave? Yeah. So this whole thing is a 360. It's not one way. It's not putting it on the woman that look for the signs and then if you see the signs, run. That's just one part, and it's a small part. The other part is, if I leave, then what? Because I need community. For very many women, once you get divorced, you have no community. Even your own best mate now doesn't want to talk to you because you're divorced. So you lose community. There are many people who've lost their family because now it's like you are brought shame to the family. Your father doesn't want to talk to you. Your mother sees you only at night or hides to see you because, all those crazy. So you've lost community, you've lost family, you've lost your church, you've lost respect, and you did nothing. You're just trying to live. You're like, Nani, this man was going to kill me.
You're running from an abuser.
Yeah, so I'm fighting for my life inside here. When I come out, I'm fighting as well. Yeah. So we need a situation where we say, we don't just use our mouths. We don't just want to say pretty words that we trend and people get views and people think we are good people. Start with your neighbor who has no husband, and it should not be your problem why she doesn't have one, whether she was beaten, whether he left her, and people always have those stupid things that alikufanya nini, men don't leave good women. And now me, I'm not a good woman. Ulimfanya, because I don't see how a man can do that. Like, what's wrong with you? I'm going through it. It doesn't have to make sense to you. It's my reality. So this is what's happening to me. So all this, we really have to be very sensitive. Otherwise, we will have situations where women stay in places because you tell yourself, anyone anipiga, lakini maybe if I don't provoke him, but an abusive person is just an abusive person. So in fact, now the more you try to keep quiet, the more now he wants a reaction from you. So the abuse gets worse. Yeah. So you can't cheat yourself, but just keep quiet, I'll do the other. We need to have a space where it is open and we say, this happened, we are sorry, we will accept you. Yeah, you look out for the other woman. You look out for children. It's that simple. She doesn't have to be your sister. She doesn't have to sleep with you, because then the other people who now decide now that's going to be the currency. Anytime this woman wants something, I'll get sex out of her because the children must eat, or they must go to school, or she needs a job, or whatever. We need to be better people. In fact, all these femicide issues is problem of society. It's not that woman's problem. It's not what she was wearing. It's not that she was stalking back. It's not that she didn't leave. It's us who are on the outside who didn't give her a choice.
We made her stick there.
Yeah.
You know, some of those things, when I hear them, they're really not nice. You know, my sister used to live with a very abusive man. Huyu jamaa hata hakuwa na kitu bwana. I don't understand these men that yani
the kiburi.
Yeah, the kiburi too. It was. By the way, is it hot?
What the
tea?
It's good enough. I think is it been warmed up?
Yes.
Yeah, I was saying this technology.
Yeah, this technology. You don't need to be anybody's hero. What is it? What does that mean?
So I give an example of my mother. When my mother was on her deathbed, she told me, you should like yourself. You should want to wear good things. You should eat. If somebody gives you money, you eat. But society told us a good woman is a self-sacrificing woman. I remember this lady said one day, and her daughter was so angry when she said that, but I understood that. She said she used to go to town. Those days going to town meant getting money, because she had this many children back in her house. She lived somewhere in Buruburu, so she had this many kids, and she didn't have money, and she would go to town. You just go from office to office, looking for your relatives. Remember those days you could go to one office to the next, and you had a relative working in maybe a government office, and they'd give you something. So she says sometimes she'd go somewhere, and somebody says, since you have come, let me take you to lunch. So maybe they'd go somewhere to eat maybe chips, and she'd say, anyway, I'm not hungry, pack it for me. And maybe I'll just drink the soda, I'll carry the chips, I'll eat maybe in the bus. But she's actually carrying it for her children back home. So she was saying one day somebody gave her bananas, and she was so hungry because, of course, she not had anything to eat when she'd left her house, because all the money you have, you leave for the children, and the rest you have used as fare. So this person gave her bananas, and I think there were exact number of bananas of the children that she has at home. So she ate the bananas. She told herself, let me eat these bananas, because if I fall down and die here, what will those children? It will take even those very bananas back home. So I might as well eat, get more strength, and look for whatever it is I have to do. So my mother had this dress. I remember this dress so well because she talked about it then, that she'd bought. And those days it was Deacon's. You remember Deacon's clothes, but there was Deacon's and it was everything. So she bought this really nice dress, and it had pink and blue, I think, and purple. So she said that was her most expensive buy. And she put on that dress only once. Then she gave it to her mother. She said, I didn't think I deserved to wear that dress. It was so expensive. So she was saying, if you get money, buy yourself that dress, buy yourself that shoe. So women want to be heroes. I think we've suffered so much in it until we've become, we now injure ourselves with that hope that people will say how I was a good woman. But usually they say you are a good woman when you're in a box. So suddenly you are a good woman. My mother was a very good woman. When we had 4 pieces of meat and we were 5 of us in the house, she would give us, and then she pretends she doesn't want to eat meat. She would just drink soup. When there was no food, she would give us the food, and then for her, she would sleep hungry. Or she would walk from one point to whatever with the torn shoes so that you can do whatever. It sounds so nice, but it isn't. It isn't nice, because the thing that happens is then you teach your children to treat you that way. Even when you're old, they will treat you that way. You don't need it. You are the good one with the good heart. Hata usipopata saizi watu wapatiwe nini keki hapa, Jagger can do that. Si hata jana akukunywa soda and he didn't feel bad. You're teaching people how to treat you. So a lot of times we kill ourselves for everybody else, because that's what we've been taught. Good woman. So we are trying to be the heroes. You stay in a marriage for the children. you stay in a relationship for your families. You see now, I'm on the second marriage, nikitoka sasa watasema huku kwetu, hatuwezi kuwa na, we cannot keep. So you want to be the hero so that your siblings that come behind you can say, you see, our sister suffered in marriage and she reached 50 years. Sasa ata sisi, you know, that type of thing. So I'm saying, no, we don't need another hero. Eat that piece of meat, the big one. The children these ones are strong. They can drink strunke and sleep. Not badly. I'm not saying it literally that
I agree.
that starve your children.
I really totally agree.
Yes. I'm not saying starve them.
My father actually used to say, love.
Yeah.
But they will grow.
They will grow and they will get their own money and they'll eat a whole cow. you understand? They will eat that whole cow.
Yeah.
But we need to get, and especially as women, not to go into relationships wanting to save people, wanting to be heroes.
Do you think women always want to save people?
Yes, we're always trying to save even grown men. You see, I mean, if you can't get it right, then somebody else must teach you. I'm not your mother. You know, and also your mother can only get to a certain point, but you can't save everybody. You can't save people at the expense of your health. You can't save people at your mental health, your physical health. You can't save people at the expense of your life, not just life as in the somebody would kill you or whatever, but life that you want to travel, that you want to do what it is that you need to do. We have women working hard, so many jobs for somebody else. You understand? That's why I refuse this thing of, start with somebody and suffer with them. Because the person who is suffering is the woman. It's the man doesn't suffer as much as the woman suffers when you're starting together, because she will go without a lot so that the man looks good outside there. I have 60 bob in their shati. You go to the Kikomba and go to the deepest part of Kikomba to look for a shirt worth 30 bob, come and wash and iron, and you are in tatters just so that the man can look good at you. We started together. We don't need any more heroes. They are enough. Jesus saves. I can't remember Buddha, what he does. Muhammad also does his other things. And those are enough. Let other people do other things.
You say that divorce is not killing anybody. Yeah. You didn't kill anyone.
You didn't kill anyone. You're just trying to live.
Do you think a lot of women are feeling like they killed someone?
They're made to. Goes back to the situation where we're saying, remember when we're talking about a femicide. You leave a situation that was dangerous. You leave a situation that was causing you pain, whether it's physical or emotional. We don't get to decide for you why you left. You're an adult. We didn't decide for you when you were getting married. But now you've woken up and said, I can't do this anymore. Maybe it's and this part of the world, if nobody's boxing you, and we can't see black and blue and purple and swollen whatever, then you're like, ati ni hiyo tu, si ungevumilia. Kuna wengine mama nani alikuwa anapigangwa huko kabisa, yeye alivumilia. You alikwambia tu maneno mawili mabaya. Nobody takes into consideration that there is emotional abuse, there is financial abuse, there is sexual abuse, whether you are being denied sex or being forced into it. There's so many things that go into a marriage going wrong beyond being beaten black and blue. Yeah. So you decide, I want better for myself, I want better for my children. And then now society treats you like you are a thug. In fact, you'd rather be a thug and wake up in the morning and say you're saved. How many pastors do we have here that are criminals? But just because they woke up and said they're saved, everybody loves them so much. But a woman trying to save her life, you are worse off than that thug who is standing on the pulpit preaching nonsense because he didn't even go to school. Yeah. So we need a situation where we actually, as we said, build a community outside for women to be able to heal. Because again, a divorce, people, when we're talking about it outside like this, it sounds easy. I've been out of marriage 15 years. So I've had time to go through the motions. You can be sure when I started year one, I was not talking like this. I was going through the motions, because divorce, I want to say death, but that might be so, but it's a loss. It's a major loss.
But somebody said that divorce is like death.
Yes, I don't want to compare it to death, because I've experienced people dying and divorce. I'd rather divorce somebody than experience death. Yeah, so, but it's a loss nonetheless, and it's a heavy loss, because you don't go into a marriage, have these children, and then wake up in the morning and say, I don't feel like it anymore, and go. And even that process of saying that it's over takes you a while. It's nothing that, it's not a light switch that on, off, today I was here, tomorrow I'm gone. It's something that you battle over for a while. And marriages end long before somebody actually walks out. Yeah. So that I'm talking about it now doesn't mean it's easy, and doesn't mean that it's something I wish on somebody else. But if it comes to that, then you should not have to suffer again now trying to prove yourself outside here. Unajua alikuwa ananifanya hivi. And then what happens is in such situations is then you create victims out of women, because that's the only way she can get sympathy for leaving a marriage that was not good for her. So you'll also realize that then women start coming up with many stories. Alinipiga, and the man is saying sikumpiga, but nobody believes him because women are usually beaten in divorce. But that's the only way you're going to believe me. Alikuwa ananipiga na niweka chini ya kitanda lile, and people are like, oh, uliteseka, eh? That's the only sympathy she's going to get. But even in the book I say, owning up to your part in the end of that relationship is power in itself. I'm not going to sit down and say I did nothing. I did a lot of things. I did a lot of things. We were not born in the same home, so we couldn't have acted, We are two different people from two different places, and we were young, and whatever it is that we held true were different, and things like that. Yeah. So even that owning up gives you power. So as much as you didn't kill anybody, own up to your part in it, and stop trying to be a victim beyond that. Yeah.
Getting a man after a divorce. Are you in this book you are speaking to women mostly?
I'm speaking to women and curious people.
And curious people.
Yeah, those are the targets.
No romance without finance.
Yes.
Who is supposed to be having romance and who is supposed to be having finance?
Both. You see, so this is the thing. And especially in the space where a woman has gotten a divorce or been divorced or separated or what have you, is they become such soft targets for people with different agendas, especially for a man who's looking for an easy ride. You don't want to work hard, because we have already been classified. Society says a woman maybe 19 to 25, no children is the ideal. Yeah. So Sasa, that one, because in fact somebody will even ask you, why are you feeling so good that you're not even 25? And you're just like, because that is the ideal, whatever for him is, that a 25-year-old is placed higher up. So then now as you grow older, then your value is supposed to go down. So now you're 30, never been married, okay, you go down. But if you're 30, been married with children, you're even lower. So the older you get, the lower it becomes. So very many women have internalized that as well. So you have a situation where a woman will accept anything as long as he's walking upright because she wants a relationship. So you'll find many men now will use that and say, he wants only independent women. He only wants women who can, even you can open for me a door. Why must I be the one to open the door? Even you can pay for the dinner. Even you can take us to, I don't know where. Even you can ask me to marry. Even you can get on your knee. In fact, somebody sent me that clip and I was so confused. It's a clip of some man telling us to change the culture by also buying men dinner and paying, and going on a knee to beg them to marry them and other confusing things. So
you think that's confusing?
I know it's confusing because I'm just like, this is a grown man. How is it that he has never been hit by a car the way he's thinking like this? I'm surprised he can cross a road.
You're surprised he can cross the road?
I'm so surprised. So these are the things. So you see that man now conditions you because he knows you've already internalized that your value is down. And I always ask women this, why do you think that a man who really likes you doesn't want to make your life that much easier? And it's easier is anything. And it irritates me that I must explain easier. Because right now, I'm sure there's somebody already typing and saying, those gold diggers, women who don't have husbands want to come here and take advantage of men, and those are not their children, and they want money. You know, wanaongea. And she's misleading women. Women, there are no men you can get it if you have a... And you just like, look at this crazy, unfortunate fellow. But you see, that's what happened. So you find this woman going into a relationship already thinking this man is doing her a favor.
Okay.
So she now tries to help. I'll buy the drinks. I'll pay for the room. We are going to... And it's become so bad that women don't see that there's anything wrong. You not even paid for a room at a very good hotel. I'm just like, what? You paid for what? you paid for a room?
You're also going to enjoy sex.
No.
See, where will he pay?
Me, you see, by the time you start talking like that, and I always tell people, you know what? At the end of the day, if that's your thinking...
Yeah,
you started. You're not even waiting for them. But I tell people this. If that's his thinking, that's okay. And he can think it, and maybe he can go and do it elsewhere, but it can't be done around you.
You actually think that women shouldn't be paying rooms?
No, I think there's something it does, and that's why I said I'm pretty traditional, and I go back to some of the things I've heard my uncle say, my father say, my grandfather say, yeah. And I remember I had a relative who was getting married, and he didn't have a job, but his wife had a job. And his father said, no, don't marry this woman. You don't have a job. No, but you people, those are old things. This woman, she's been looking after us. So he was being told, so you're going to marry her and go and live in her house because you don't have anything apart from clothes. Because you're going to take your clothes and go to her house. And he said, wait a little and get something. Even if you have to sell chicken, start selling 2 chicken, become a millionaire. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. Or maca. 2 eggs. Or cabbages. But whatever it is. Where we said, he told him, get your own thing. That woman needs to come to your house. You see, as much as we want to say all these many nice things, feminism, modernism, Westernism, an African man is just an African man. An African woman is an African woman. Go and live in a woman's house and see if madhara won't start. You don't even have a shilling. You'd be told, nani apana, here, uko kwa hii hesabu. A woman can only feed you for so long before you start irritating her. Because now you are coming to eat. Even the little that left over that was left for the children to eat in the morning with tea, umekula yote kwa sufuria. Huna hata shilingi, unatembea tu na trousers na mguu. Ilo gani? Olwete.
Umundi long lilo.
Just trousers and hands.
Not nice at all. Not nice at all. Umundi olwete.
So, it is at the end of the day, and even men know it, because that man, my mother used to tell us this, a man who you feed and you give money, he will look for a place to be a man. That man has a place where they call him to ask him even for dania. Kuna mama mwingine na kumpigianga. So for you are like work. The money you'll give him, he will always go somewhere where he's a man, where he sits down. Baba nani ameingia, baba nani sijui kidania, sijui baba nani sijui mama nani said we have not paid, and he's there removing. Thank you. And he's feeling like he has reached. As opposed to this other place where he must account for all those monies he's given. It doesn't work. And I always say also, a man who likes you, I believe this because I've been with men who like me, will always want to make your life a little easier. And a little easier, he can get you a job. He can tell you, hey, by the way, there's this opening in 1, 2, 3. I've already talked to whoever. Go send your CVs. Tell them you have been sent by whoever. You understand? A man who likes you will say, I see you have done your degree. I think you should do a master's. Can you look for a course, whatever, send me whatever. A man who likes you will say, you're a single woman. You need a piece of land to get your own home. Check 1, 2, 3. Let's move on from there. He will want to make your life easier. It doesn't matter how little it is. He'll even say, and it's not a rich man. And that's the other thing that people confuse. It's not a rich man who wants to make it. A man who likes you. I have an uncle who told me once, he took an equity loan for he's not well off, but there's a woman who he loved. He said, that one I took an equity loan for, and I paid it happily. I didn't even pay it.
Paid what?
For the loan. After I think he took her to school, and I can't remember what else she needed. And he took a loan and paid it. And he said he was happy to pay it because he loves that woman. So I think maybe we stop being around people who don't like us, thinking we are modern. I have my own money. I work hard. I do this. Don't have what?
The money.
No. I told you, a man who likes you will want to do something for you. It doesn't mean paying your rent. He wants to do something for you. It doesn't matter what thing that is. He wants to do something. But it can't be a man the man you're going out with, all he does is atikuja nulia bia hapa nini kwa loko. Kuja he sends you the pay bill. Ndio pay bill nimekunywa hapa 5,000. The only time he's calling is he wants something from you or he wants to sleep with you. Kuja akana come, so he either wants to come and sleep in your house because your house is free, or you pay for a room for him to sleep with you. That's what a man who likes you. Yeah. So the romance there and finance is there's a song.
What is the romance on the finance on the part of the woman? Nasikia tu ki.
See now, these are things that now we don't want to discuss. I told you.
Why?
We don't want to work with people who are competing with women. You want also to be bought dresses and I don't know what and taken to salon. We want men who like being men.
Who like giving money? Not
giving money, who like being men. They lead, they're not competing with you.
And being a man equals giving money.
Not always, but if you want to, if
most of the times, would you say?
But if those are the people you interact with, then that's what you must do. Yeah.
So it's the man's job to have the resources.
That's how it has been, and it still is if you think about it. Yeah, I'll give an example even of the political world. For you to get into there as a woman, how many stories have you had, the things women have had to do to get into spaces? And because society is male-dominated anyway. Yeah, so it's a man's world. That is why you expect the man to be able to open ways. You expect the man to be able to have the resources, whatever it is. And resource is many, because the problem is we have men who don't want to think beyond their noses. Resources is many things. It's your network. There are men who can be sitting with you right now, but he's two people away from, say, for example, the president or whatever. You want to see the president, he'll tell you, okay, let me talk to somebody. Resource is many things. Let's get away from wanting to do wash.
I asked a 20-year-old question about what they bring to the table.
Good manners.
Wakasema, Mimi, I'm just bringing me. You don't look at me, Jagger, and think this is what you're getting. I want to ask a 46-year-old woman, what do you bring to the table?
Good table manners. That's all I'm bringing.
Okay. Can you expound?
It's just that. Good table manners.
Can you expound? Please expound.
Najua kukula na kijiko. Nauma. I know which cup goes where. I know which fork goes where.
You say a lot of women say that it's a man's world. Is it really? Do you really think it's a man's world?
There's a song.
What is the song?
I think by James Brown. It's a man's world, but it ain't nothing without a woman in it.
So then that's not a contradiction.
So it's a man's world, because you need the man to do this, but he's doing it for what? Why do men do half the things they do? It's for women. If you are just here, men sitting there, even showering, you would not shower.
So then how is it a man's world?
It's a man's world because you need it to move around. In short, we need each other. It should never be, and I'm so tired of this conversation.
So it's not a man's world.
It's all of ours. It won't be anything without you. It won't be anything without me.
That is fair now.
Yeah.
That's pretty fair.
Mm-hmm. Because then what's the point?
When you say it's not a carnival,
red flags.
There are the red flags. What exactly do you mean? By the way, how do you break down the idea of a carnival?
You know, the carnival, you'd know there's a carnival somewhere because of the flags. You remember? small different flags there.
It is in this movie, the way this movie starts. this British movie. What is it called? The sequel. What is it called? The James what? James Bond. Yeah, there's one that they do somewhere with a big carnival.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, flags.
Yeah, flags.
Everywhere, yes. So sometimes you're seeing red flags and you're thinking the carnival. But nishida.
Literally.
Yes. It nishida na nkianga. Because many times there are things people will tell you early on that you don't realize are problems. Yeah. And so we try to delve into a few of those. And remember, like even the other day I just learned of the nagging, you know, when somebody is giving you backhanded comments. So there are some red flags that always show up, but we don't. In fact, if you talk to very many people, men and women, after a relationship has gone bust or when they're in the midst of, you know, some storm of whatever, that's the time they have time to think back. And they'll tell you, I knew this. You know, they used to do 1, 2, 3. But at that time you are trying so hard to... the problem with thinking you are in love is you become that other person's campaigner. Lakini ata change. Nikimfanyia atafanya. So you're telling of things. So we are saying, sometimes these are the red flags, nani. See carnival, I know you like the carnival. It's fun, but those are red flags, yeah? So like an example of a red flag would be, I always tell for women, the minute a man says, I like independent women, or I like you because you're independent, just take your things and be going. Because you've been conditioned not to expect anything. He wants you to be self-sufficient. Yeah, and there's no relationship that can work where one person comes to take and the other one must then just figure it out. There's a meme that I really like that somebody said, if you had his penis in your mouth last night, you can tell him today what your problems are. But you find many times men like to condition women that you're independent. I like you so much because you're independent. I like it. And because of the specific demographic of women, I'm speaking to divorced women, because many of them have internalized a lot of rubbish, so they don't think they are worth a certain relationship because of their age, because they've been married, because of their children. You try so hard to be ideal. So since he said, I'm independent, I don't ask for anything. I won't ask him to, I won't call him and say, hey, my Wi-Fi has been disconnected and I don't have money. In fact, they start telling you earlier, I don't like those women who, after the first date, anasemanga gas imeisha, na kama imeisha. Sometimes it is finished, yeah? So, or whatever that is. So such men who want independent women, or who already start telling you how, I used to have another woman that I did everything for. I bought her a house worth 2 million. I bought her a car, but she did this to me, so now I'm very hurt. I need time to heal. That one is conditioning you to be hopeful. So for you say, kumbe can buy a woman a 2 million house. Kumbe he can buy her car, but that woman hurt him. So I must make sure I don't hurt him, and he will buy me a house eventually. So you take a lot of rubbish because you are cushioning him, hoping that at some point you're going to be rewarded for being nice and not hurting him like the previous woman did. So there's so many small things that somebody will tell you at the beginning. If you refuse to listen to them, then you end up paying for them. In hukumbele.
African womanhood. What is it?
Is you as an African. So I start that chapter off by talking about when you think of an African woman, if somebody
can I read how it starts? Dating while mothering. That one I skipped.
There's dating while mothering, and there's also the girl circle that we should do. What eats you is in your clothes. Kikulacho.
Kikulacho kingoni mwako. How do you start this? This page is which page? This thing is not written. The pages are not written.
This is a sample that you have. That's why.
Yes. Okay. I don't know what.
It's the last page, so you'll be able to have
understanding. Yeah.
Yes, understanding African woman.
Until the other day when we started taking control of our narrative, there was nothing sexy about an African woman. When we put on our TV or opened our magazines, we saw her portrayed as a beast of burden. Firewood on her head, a baby on her back, torn clothes, barefoot and with small children in tow. They then upgraded us to clothes hangers on the runways because we looked very different and diverse, so we could draw attention. In fact, I've seen that in a lot of black movies.
Yes. You see that like a black woman now becomes...
Yeah, they're hanging the clothes on the clothesline.
So you see, African womanhood, there was nothing sexy about us for a long time. For a very long time, it's until recently that we have thought being African actually can be sexy. Having our hairstyles, having our...
We should also talk more about having our own hair.
Yes, having our own hair, having our hairstyles, having the way we talk, even the way we write. I was telling somebody, I think it was during one of our classes we had this discussion, your master class, do you remember? Where we said the way that the West Africans write is not always quote unquote grammatically correct.
No.
And then they will also just throw in words and you figure it out. Nobody's going to translate somewhere.
A lot of South Africans and people from around the world have been telling us not to speak in vernacular. And you know what vernacular they think? Swahili.
Swahili, you see, yes.
Oh, Shane. They're saying,
yes.
Don't go back to your vernacular.
But that is who we are.
Yeah.
And then it was so interesting for us to look at writing that way, that we could actually write that way. And I also did a bit of that, and I'd feel guilty sometimes when sending it to my editor, because I was a columnist for a while, and I would have Yawa or Owada or Aworo on the whatever, and sometimes I'd feel guilty, but then my editor would maybe put in brackets, and I'd say don't translate it. Let them read the paragraph and decide, because at the end of the day, who decided that the British, for example, were good writers? Somebody had a very nice skit on Facebook. She said she read Shakespeare, of course, and all these other English authors, and she thought they were very good authors. But she realized she could also have been a very good author, or her people could have been very good authors, if their people colonized half of the world and gave them their people's books and said, these are the best books, read them. They would have easily been...
Do you actually like Shakespeare? I don't like his work.
I don't mind it. I don't. It's very difficult to read. Yes.
It's boring. A lot of people will look at me and say, you're not serious.
No, it's...
But
it's not for everybody, like all books.
I don't like...
Yeah, like all books. Not... You don't have to like every book.
Yeah.
And you also don't even have to like the whole book. You can like one chapter, not like it. I mean, you can do it.
I like flashes of lines there. But
yes, yeah. But not everything. Yeah. So you see, until recently, anything African was backward. More so an African woman. Now, enter African woman, and this is now the place where now I have a problem with the feminism, and I have the problem with the Western ideals of femininity. So there were not, and there are a lot of people who still subscribe to that. In fact, right now I think it's very trendy right now to be feminine. The only problem with this feminine is Western feminine, because Western feminine is delicate, is dainty, is light skin. We're not light skinned. Many of us are dark skinned, and the tone of our skin changes. It varies. We don't have the long gold or blonde hair. We are not naturally thin. Yeah, so most of us have very heavy bones. We will not be. So even when we see those romantic movies where the man comes and sweeps the woman off, you might not be able to carry out 78 kgs of me. So because I'm an African woman. So in this part of African womanhood, we need to really find out who we are as African women, not who we are as in the eyes of the Western feminine woman. And I find that also contributes a lot to the relationships we have. You find women right now are killing themselves because they want to look a certain way for men. You hear them say it on TikTok. Sometimes I look at TikTok and I'm worried for my girls and other girls who don't look like other girls. When they say, men, in this Nairobi, if you go around, ask any men, they will tell you that they like wanawake yellow. And I'm just like, what rubbish is that? How many men have you talked to? How many, so because 3 or 4 people who said they like you that way, and now you have decided to change yourself, doesn't mean that is the whatever. Another one said, she bleaches because now that she's bleaching, she's clean. So in that clean and brightness, she's now bright, she's getting money. Where has your darkness gotten you. Ati kama hii bleach in kukua safi itanipatia molds or something, you wear hazia. So we have a lot of crazy rhetoric. So you find very many women killing themselves because you don't understand who you are, trying to be something you think somebody wants. I think I even said here another time, when sometimes you can tell when a woman's husband, maybe she's found that he has somebody else. She runs to the gym. She now wants to change her hair. She wants not to go to put on waist trainers because the other woman is looking a certain way. She now wants to put on makeup. If she was not putting, she now wants to, all that type of thing. So understand yourself as an African woman, not as a woman who's westernized. Yeah, an African woman is many things. You cannot box her into one thing. Yeah, if you look in the old times, we were healers. You gave birth. You toiled the land. You are many things. Midwives. You are doulas of death. Even, you helped people go into the afterlife. You brought them into this life. You wore different colors. You did as in you are crazy. As whatever it is that you could see, you could be. But these days you have somebody now telling you what you must be. If you're going where, only wear white, only wear black. Don't wear green. Don't smile too hard. Don't laugh. Don't put on braids. It doesn't look. Don't put on your natural hair. It doesn't look professional. Put on a wig. Don't put on a wig. Do what you want. Yeah, but it can't be that what you want is what they have told you to attract a man. Mm. And you'll find that in this book, this is not the book where I'm telling you how to get a man. I'm telling you how to get yourself. It's about you. Protect yourself, heal yourself, get knowledge, be able to read things, be able to read people. I have a chapter, as I was telling you, your girl circle, what eats you is in your clothes. We have also, just as I said, we keep buying into many things that are just trending. Yeah. I want to say this in a way that, anyway, if people just have to listen if they want to really understand what I'm saying, because sometimes breaking things for people into bite-sized pieces become difficult. As a woman, now it's fashionable to support women. It should have always been fashionable to support women. We should have always supported women. We should always support women. We should always support men. But it's not a men versus women. It's not a us versus them. The problem that I see now is we really, really want to be girls, that sometimes those girls, those women are your biggest downfall. Sometimes the person who hurts you the most, the person who doesn't want for you is that woman. But we have covered our eyes in, I'm for girls, I'm a girl's girl. But sometimes she's fucking up. You should be able to say, this is wrong, I don't see this is going the right way, let me go this other way. Sometimes that girl is not good for you. And not all girls are. And that's why you find that there are women who say they don't like hanging around women because they've gone through something. As much as we like to dismiss them, that, why is she saying that? Why doesn't she want to be around women? That woman has a story. Maybe you should listen to that story and hear what she has to say. So it's that thing where we say, protect yourself. Be open to seeing that maybe sometimes not everybody is good. Be open to knowing that women also are human beings. That's why we said at that point, they want to be like men. Being like men in that chapter explained is being human. Mm. I'm capable of many things. Just because I'm a woman doesn't mean I'm good. I'm capable of evil. Yeah. Yeah. And that must be appreciated.
How do we get this book, darling? It's a beautiful book.
Asante sana. Mm. You can get it from Hustle Sasa. It's called Hustle Sasa. I got on Hustle Sasa.
You got on Hustle Sasa?
Yes, so you
can get it on Hustle Sasa.
You can get it on that. You can get it on Nuria bookstore. It has an e-copy.
Mm. In fact, you know you call Hustle Sasa?
No, I'm not doing my e-copies on that. There you can download. No, go and read it online.
Well, Hustle Sasa inafanya aje sasa?
See, once I download, I can then send it to you. Can't I?
Once no, but how is it then on Hustle Sasa?
So as a product.
Oh, they do that now?
Yes. So as a physical product, I can.
They do Hustle Sasa?
Yes. So I have a storefront. So as a physical product, as the book, you can get that there. But if you want to read it as an e-copy, then you'll have to go to Seller or Kindle.
Seller?
Yes. So
tell me about Seller. I have never heard of Seller.
Hey, I'm teaching you so many things, Jack.
Yeah,
Send an invoice.
Yeah. By the way, I invoiced somebody the other day for 5,000. I was like, hey,
so Seller is actually a Nigerian-based platform, and it's mostly for digital work
stuff.
Yeah, so you can do like what do you call them? You can do your digital e-copies where you can allow people either to download or to read online, so they don't download. You can do your, what are they called? The tutorials. What have you?
It's just called Seller.
SELAR.co.
L-A-R. Without double L?
No, one.
Seller.
Yes.
Oh, I see. That's interesting. Seller.cc.
Is it C-E-C-O? Should be .co. It should
Seller.co, I see
yeah.
that. Okay,
Yeah.
this is very, very interesting. So, this is good. Start selling with Seller. The best way to sell your digital products online.
Yes.
It's a Nigerian thing.
Yes, and they take M-Pesa. They take all
Of course,
cards.
they have to take M-Pesa. They know. Everybody has learned the hard way. That if you're gonna get to the Kenyan market, you better be.
M-Pesa, yes.
So this book is for women that want to take control of themselves and people who are divorced and want to take that next step of
and curious people, if you just want to learn, because everybody can learn something.
Yeah, they are charging here on Seller.
No, they charge
a commission.
A commission. It's a small one. So, like, if I sell this book for 1,000 bob online, maybe I'd pay them what? Maybe 10 bob or something.
Host your courses and webinar, replay videos and files. That is $30 a month. But
that is, like
it's
there's
free
a premium.
forever with a starter plan. You can start selling any kind of product and sell it for free, which is now the free version.
Yes.
Anyway, we finish this thing and then we go to Seller.
So what we would do, today is my daughter's birthday.
Oh.
My firstborn.
Your firstborn, how old is she?
23.
23?
Yes.
Why are you taking her? What's the plan?
No, they don't even care these days about me. They want money and they go and do their own things.
Okay.
Yeah, so right now. So because it's my daughter's birthday, I'll give your viewers a 50% discount on the ebook.
On the ebook on Seller.
So the code is Jagero. So I'll send you a link.
Very nice. This thing has started working. I feel so good that people are like saying the code is Jagero.
The code is Jagero.
That's
and they get 50% off so they can read the book. Yeah.
Awesome.
Only for your whatevers. For a limited time, so they better.
For a limited time.
Yes. The ebook, read online only. So nobody should say
you become... read the ebook. I like ebooks. Yeah. So thank you very much, people of the internet. That was beautiful talking with Felgonah Oyuga. Always a pleasure. I hope you'll come again. We talk about other things. Yes. There are so many things that we need to talk about.
We should.
Date someone you'd wish for your daughter. That's powerful.
Yes.
Oh, that's really powerful.
Yes.
That's really powerful.
Because you're also somebody's daughter.
I think that's really, really powerful.
Yes.
Until another episode, bye for now.